woman shooting a ping pong ball out of her vagina, and I'm like...
This is the Circle City News with Sarah Jury. Listen or watch us on Facebook, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and other places that play fine podcasts. Or visit our blog at circlecitynews.org.
Hello, and welcome back to Circle City News with Sarah Jury. I wanted to give a big thank you to our new sponsor of our podcast, and that is feetfinder.com, the best place to view, buy, and sell feet pics. So I have a beautiful guest on. I'm so excited. I literally have the hottest friends, the hottest OnlyFans models. This is my friend Britney and Marie, and we're going to be talking all things about her life, about OnlyFans, and maybe even her sexy feet as well. How are you, Britney? Oh my gosh. So Britney and I have this hilarious story about getting her on the podcast. So we actually recorded our first podcast a couple weeks ago, but we are so hot together. What happened to your phone, Britney?
It overheated. It went in emergency mode, and I had to put it in the freezer, and it shut down. It was too hot.
Yes. We are just too hot to handle when we get together. And then it's hilarious because we just tried to do this again. And what happened to your phone again?
It overheated, and we barely even started. So I'm using my boyfriend's phone now. So
yeah,
yes.
We must have like this fiery energy like when the two of us get together. We're just too hot to handle, friend.
Ooh, I'm getting warm.
Same. And I told Britney, because I had to text message her, that I messaged her at 3:33, and we're both spiritual, so I had to go look up the angel number. So I'm going to read it to you guys so you know what kind of vibes we got going on here. The angel number 333 encourages to set plans into action and let your personal strength be the guide, to trust yourself and put thought into your choices. This angel number also is connected with optimism, creativity, and intuition.
So good.
And all of those are beautiful, so good. And they all sort of vibrate with your story and your spirit and your zest for adventure in life. And I want to talk about it because you have this amazing story, and I just love how you live life to the fullest. So let's go back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, who you are, and then we'll kind of talk about how you found your way to the OnlyFans platform.
Absolutely. So where do I begin? Uh-oh, where'd you go? There you are. All right.
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go. I'm right here. Okay.
All right. Where do you want me to begin?
Let's maybe go back a couple years ago and let's talk about your travel, where you're living now, what kind of jobs you had in the past. And then also in particular, kind of how you went from being really religious to now being an OnlyFans model, taking your clothes off.
Yes, so a while back, I was, yes, as Sarah said, I was very religious, but I was extremely liberated and religious. I was very free in the church and very expressionate, and I grew some depth, I would say, in love with myself and people. And so it was a good foundation for me. And then I felt so free and liberated that I parted ways with the church. I actually was dating a youth pastor for 4 years and just decided I wanted more in life. I wanted more money, I just wanted to travel the world, and just his vision and my vision it didn't go together really. And I was given an opportunity to literally leave the 6 jobs I had. I had babysitting 2 families. I was a business developer for a startup gym full time. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. What
Okay,
else
that's
did I
okay.
do? I had to start an MLM networking business. I was also freelancing, doing hair for runway shows. I did hair for some of the biggest runway shows. I did LA Fashion Week, multiple LA Fashion runway shows, weddings, celebrity stuff. Like a lot of, I was so busy, but I was making very little money. And I got an opportunity, and I burned all my bridges. That was out in California. I burned all my bridges literally within 24 hours and told everyone, like, I canceled. A lot of people are like, well, you did what? Don't you give 2-week notices to these businesses? Don't you? And I'm like, it was just so alive in my heart. I felt like, boom, I need to make this happen right now. Like, I cannot wait a month from now. Yeah, I had a schedule for the past month booked, but I'm like, no, I need to let go of all this stuff right now and literally leave. So I actually ended up breaking up with a boyfriend of 4 years, the youth pastor. I ended all my jobs, said I'm done. They blessed me on my way, and that was really cool. Told my landlord I'm out, and they're like, okay, we'll give you your deposit back, whatever. And literally within a week, I did all of this stuff and packed all my stuff in what my little Honda Civic could handle, and I drove to Arizona with $20 cash to my name because I was living paycheck to paycheck. And they provided food, housing, everything. And they're like, all right, get to work. And so I did solar sales, and I actually I broke up with the youth pastor, and then I broke records in the company. I was
Yes!
top producer for setting appointments. That was all I did. And so it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, won trips, and then I was financially, I made more money than I ever made before, and it was really awesome. But there came a point where I'm like, okay, do I want to be knocking on doors in these neighborhoods the rest of my life? Not really. It's good money, but what comes alive? What do I really want to do? And modeling is something that I've always wanted to do and actually be more intentional with. But in the past, I kind of had some icky taste in my mouth because of my experiences, and it was just really like, yes, I come from a background of ministry, so it was, oh God, this was so funny. Like 10 years ago, I went to Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand, and did a mission trip to minister to ladyboys. And so we would go to like these strip clubs and pray for these men turned women and pray for them and love them and stuff. But when we walked into that first strip club, I just couldn't, because literally what I saw on stage, I have never seen in my life. You have a woman shooting a ping pong ball out of her vagina, and I'm like, what is going on here? And it's so wild because right now I'm actually in a course called Vagina Kung Fu and learning how to strengthen my vagina.
How they did it!
Because that's actually for good health reasons, for entertainment, for multiple reasons to connect with my body, because I've had so much shame around my vagina, especially being in the church.
Yes.
Yes,
friend. Oh my God. Are you making progress? Like, can you shoot it really far? I want.
So I'm only 3 weeks in with the exercises because we have what's called a jade egg. And so we do a lot of meditation and visualizations and jade egg exercises with it. And so I'm building up all this energy and strengthening my pelvic system. I'm strengthening my body and building a deeper connection with myself.
Yes.
I've had orgasms, like there's not just one type of orgasm. There's actually like multiple, probably 5 to 8 different types of orgasms. I bet there's more, but that's all I know right now. And I thought there was only one orgasm, the clitoral orgasm, right? But I learned that's an amateur orgasm. It's like a sugar high. It's a sugar rush. But there's so much more depth. So much more depth, right? So there's like the vaginal orgasm, the G-spot, the A-spot, the cervical orgasm. And those are just going deeper within yourself and fully surrendering and being open for it. And so I've had some wild experiences connecting with myself, just a mess, just like feeling so much love for myself, all that shame breaking off and just falling in love with my body and who I am. So it's been a beautiful journey. So the ping pong balls, I'm working on that. I got to buy them first. I got to find them. I'm actually currently living in Colombia. And so it's been fun. Why? Because my boyfriend is Colombian and I need to learn Spanish a little better. But yes.
Yes. Well, and I just love you have this like free spirit. You took this trip around the United States. You just went and explored. And I really think, and I find this when I interview other OnlyFans models, this awakening, this becoming, this reclaiming of your femininity, your sexuality, and even like you mentioned, the shame around our vagina, around our pleasure. And for me, I really had to tap into like exploring my self-pleasure and allowing myself to receive it. Because as a woman, you're always kind of prepped to give pleasure and that it's about the man, but then coming into it differently as a woman, like loving your body and feeling beautiful and feeling sexy and feeling powerful. And I feel like sexual energy is the energy of creation. You can actually manifest with your orgasms.
Yeah.
Because
sex magic.
Orgasm sex magic. Yes. Orgasmic power is like one of the most, like potent energy like you could put out into the world. So I love that idea. And it's just so interesting to me, like more and more when I find my tribe, my friends that are on the OnlyFans platform, it's more than just taking your clothes off and nude modeling. There is this whole gamut of sexual healing and spirituality that I feel like really takes place, because when you do that and when you show up so vulnerable, it opens up so many gateways of learning about yourself. And like you said, unlocking things you never knew.
Right. So there was something I've been learning while in this course was so I'm 32. I just turned 32 years old. And I actually never really given myself pleasure, like, intentionally before. Like, I'd probably say 2 years ago, when I turned 30, was probably when I started exploring myself and being open. But then again, I still have these religious beliefs, but it was like, I'm curious. And so when I first started, actually this month is my 1 year Fanniversary. I started OnlyFans 1 year ago. And so, at first it was to be intentional with my self-pleasure. I would make videos, obviously, for OnlyFans. And so something I learned about myself was I only gave myself pleasure when I was filming myself. Because obviously I like looking at myself in the camera, and it was nice. I like looking at myself. But I would
you're hot, yes.
Right? I would only do it when I was recording and then sell my videos, right? Come on my journey and, take pleasure in what I'm pleasuring in, right? But I realized self-pleasure off camera has been such a game changer for me. Like, just channeling all that energy off camera and really being present with myself and my body and just being here with me off camera. Don't get me wrong. I love being seen. I love making videos. I love making content. Love it.
Yes.
But there's this intimate, personal time with myself that I think was so needed. And in the course I'm taking, I have to be intentional with self-pleasure, with yoni massage. That was the first time I actually given myself yoni massage, was like last week. That was amazing. And just these exercises just with myself. I want so badly to pull out my camera and record myself, but it's like, no, like this time is for me and me only. Like,
yes.
So that's something big that I've been learning, actually, when I've been.
Yeah, and I think it's so sacred, and I think it kind of goes back to what you talked about a little bit earlier, which is this self-love journey, really. And once you kind of open yourself up to loving yourself, you unlock those keys to freedom and self-expression and being self-actualized in a different way. What made you decide to start an OnlyFans? Like 1 year ago, what was going through your mind when you decided to start your page?
So it's funny because I've been going through my content on my phone, collecting everything that I've recorded, because things get lost in the phone. You're in a moment and things get lost. And so I'm like collecting all these memories, getting my phone organized. And actually 2 years ago, I found a vlog of me recording myself in thinking about the idea of doing an OnlyFans. But at the time, I was still a bit religious, but I was entertaining the idea, right? 2 years ago. And then a year later, obviously, I jump in. But it took me some research to do. I had to really, like, get more comfortable and confident with myself, actually. And I didn't know how much I would actually enjoy this, right? I was so judgmental in the past of women doing anything like this, so judgmental. But it was just because I was so insecure with myself. And so building security, gaining knowledge and research, and getting new perspectives on it has been a game changer. And it's actually my boyfriend who introduced me to OnlyFans. Otherwise, I would have never known about it. And he actually shared a profile, Nicole Mitchell, and was like, hey, listen to her story. And I'm like, what? So I listened to her podcast, a couple of interviews, and I'm like, oh my God, like her perspective on sexuality was just very liberating, and that was kind of the start of everything. Yes. So I think being plugged in to people who have plowed the way, that are very secure and confident, and you're very drawn to their energy, I'd say follow them and learn what they know. And, and you know, you'll gain this confidence within yourself, knowing that you have support because you're in a community. And learn from them, because everyone's perspective is different. You look at an egg and everyone thinks something different about it. So it's like you surround yourself with like minds. It's so beautiful. And so, but don't get me wrong, there have been OnlyFans creators that have crossed my path that literally have told me about their story, and it just gave me a cringy feeling because they were very honest, super honest, but they're like, I was like, oh, what's your advice? You know, I'm jumping into this, and they said fake everything, and I'm like, what the fuck? No, like in my heart, I'm like, why would I fake something that, like, this is like real for me? This is authentic for me. Like, I'm not gonna fake an orgasm. I actually want to have an orgasm. I'm not gonna fake it just to make money. What the hell? What were you saying?
And OnlyFans, I feel like your page is your personal self-expression. You can show up mind, body, spirit, soul. People see your journey in real time, and they get to see all the ways that you're learning and growing and expressing yourself sexually. And I think it's so funny because I think it kind of goes back to that, like, aspect of energy, right? The energy that you're emitting attracts your tribe. And I had actually made a comment on Instagram, like, I was like, oh my God, my friends are like boss babes. They're beautiful. They're self-expressed. They're spiritual. And I had someone message me and was like, yeah, that's not my experience at all. And I started chuckling to myself because I was like, because I'm those things, I attract this tribe. And it's so funny because Nicole Mitchell, like, she is even the person that introduced us because she's living fully expressed in her authenticity. She is such evidence, I think, for all women that you can show up as strong and sexy, brave and vulnerable, like every part of yourself, and be unashamed. And that was actually how we met, through Nicole. Nicole had a photo shoot that she invited us to, and it was my first girl experience. I can't believe the beautiful women I had my first girl experience with. It just blows my mind. But what kind of experiences have you had as an OnlyFans model that has like enriched your life, opened your life? Has it helped your relationship at all? Like, what are all these like amazing parts of being an OnlyFans model?
Oh my gosh, there's so many experiences. And honestly, every single experience has been amazing. Like, no joke, this past year has been so amazing. We just opened up and we've had probably like 4 or 5 threesomes, which have been amazing. And actually this is wild, like having an orgasm in the spider monkey position, with another woman was pretty wild. There was so much fire and power, and I just felt so powerful, like both at the same time. I don't know, I've had some wild experiences, amazing wild experiences.
Yes.
Experimenting, being open, right? And we've had some amazing couples who are so heart-centered in this arena, in this realm, the sexual exploration realm. And you know, my boyfriend actually found a few parties and fetish factory parties and then bliss parties, and just to network and connect with other couples and people that have no shame and diving into this realm, right? And so we've met amazing humans that are just so amazing. Like, I'm just like in awe, just to be like, wow, I've actually had, every experience I've had has been beautiful. The craziest one was we went to a sex club in Miami, and it was like this couple invited us, and we had no idea it was in Miami, and we go, and oh my God, it was so funny because I was a little uncomfortable. So sometimes I make jokes in the most awkward situations, but sometimes I'm like, I need to stay serious or quiet because everyone's kind of in their moment, right, in the back room. And so there's like, you have the club, and then there's a locker room, and then all these beds in the back people can just go have fun in. And it's something I've never seen in my entire life, in real life. Like, you see it in movies, and you're like, oh my God, this is real.
Yeah.
What?
I need to get down to Miami. I don't know if we have those in Indiana. If we got these in Indiana, can somebody message me?
So yeah, there's quite a few. It's just once you get plugged into a community, then you find more things, and then just keep coming. But yeah, in Miami, there's like a locker room. Everyone gets dressed. Like, you have the club scene, and then you move to the back rooms. You know, if you want to play, they call it playing. You play with other couples, play with other people, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And so we found ourselves in a room with 7 people, and everyone's like all sexy and seductive and like whatever, doing their thing, and I'm over here like, I can't take it serious. Like, I'm really trying to stay in the zone, right? And I'm like, I just think this scene is so freaking hilarious right now. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, there was a couple
You know what? I love.
Yeah, it was just so funny.
It sounds like you're just having this like wild, amazing time. And one of the things I have to say, like particularly about my friends and you in particular, is my friends are drop dead gorgeous, but their outer beauty is nothing compared to their hearts and souls that they have like shared with me. And you are just like, you are so deep, and you're so like, to me, you're so young, and I just appreciate it so much because I feel like you're giving yourself permission to go on this path of exploration and pleasure and joy. And it's a path that many women will never get to experience, sadly, because they stay stuck in the programs or the shame or this idea of what it is to be a good girl. And I remember Nicole actually said she didn't want to be a good girl. She wanted to be a free woman. And it resonates so much with me. And I feel that in my heart and soul. And that's why I love sharing people's stories, because I want it to open people's minds and hearts up to this idea around sexuality, to dismantle these ideas of shame, particularly with feminine sexuality, that we have nothing to be ashamed of. I wanted, last thing, to talk to you about your lingerie endeavor and your new lingerie company and how that's going, and how you want to use your lingerie to help all women tap into their sexiness. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so me and my boyfriend and another couple, we have started a lingerie business called Moda. And so moda is fashion in Spanish, and bombon is like a slang term in Spanish, like sexy, calling a woman sexy. And so our slogan is own your sexiness. And so it's literally just, when you wear the lingerie, you're owning your sexiness, you're owning your beauty, you're owning who you are, and you feel, confident. And so everyone has a story with owning their sexiness, right? You do, I do, all the women we know do, right? And so it's telling a story, because I want to literally hear the voices of women in what they've gone through and where they are right now, in just owning that, right? Owning their sexiness.
Yes.
And so it's quite liberating, and because I take an interest in so many women, and like, how did you get from there to there? Just like you, I love what you do. And so it's just a great opportunity for women to speak out and share their story. And we have lingerie for that, to represent.
I love it.
And so and
embody it.
Yes. And so I would say at the end of the month, we will have everything rolling online to buy. Yay.
Okay. I'm going to buy. So make sure, yes, send me that link, because I saw you looked really hot in that like blue lingerie. And I was like, I like hot pinks and blues, but I feel like as a woman, like the fastest way to feel sexy, I think even more so than just being naked, is lingerie. There is something when you put it on, you just like feel like this version of yourself, that, you can have anyone you want in that lingerie. I'm going to be invited to the back rooms.
Let's go. You're just a goddess to be worshipped.
Oh, yes. Goddess energy. That's the only energy I respond to anymore. All right, Brittany Ann Marie, if people want to follow you, they want to see all of your explicit and exclusive content and follow you on your journey, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on BrittanyAnMarie.com/links. So it's Britney, like Britney Spears. How she spells her name is how I spell my name. So BRI.
It's Britney, bitch.
BritneyMarie.com/links, and you'll find me there.
Yes, and we will also link your bio. We'll link your link to get to you. Will you also have your lingerie link there as well?
When everything's once it's posted, ready, you'll see it rolling.
All right, perfect. Oh my gosh, friend. I am so in awe of you. I adore you. I'm so freaking proud of you for being brave, being authentic, living life on your terms, on your path, exploring these beautiful bright sides, and for being such a light for other women and giving them permission to do all the same. So thank you for being on my podcast. It's always a pleasure. I'm glad that we didn't overheat your boyfriend's phone. He must be able to handle a little bit of heat, a little bit of sexiness. Tell him his phone did good. All right, friend. Thank you for chatting. I wish you all the best, and I hope that you get a lot of fans and supporters. And I really am excited to watch you live the life of your wildest dreams. So,
I love you, Sarah.
Thank you. Same. Hold on for just a second.